For centuries, the skilled and determined people of the northeast of England have created a large part of the nation's wealth, and not only in the shipyards. Here, we built the world's first railway engine, the first steam turbine, and made the very first electric light bulb. It's a clanging, noisy world, a land of steel and ships and coal. The region itself is a place of sudden surprises, of superb contrast. It's the land of Hadrian's Wall, of windswept moors and dales, of sand and coastline, where the Christian faith first came ashore to England. In some ways, it's the most unexpected corner of the whole country. In the midst of all this placid beauty, and in utter contrast to it, are the vast, heavy engineering plants of the three rivers, the Tyne, the Wear, and the Tees. Here are the production lines that make the northeast one of the great powerhouses of the nations. Here in Newcastle are built some of the turbines that drive the industry of half the world. The heart of northeast industry is steel, and 3 huge new plants have recently been opened there. Multi-million enterprises that show the region's faith in its own future. For some time, the great mills have been working below capacity, but there is now some sign of improvement. Here, they don't make steel strip for car bodies or domestic equipment. These massive mills are for the heavy stuff, for ships and the basic industries. Steel for the girders of the world. Years ago, this very company at Middlesbrough made the steel from which they built the Sydney Harbour Bridge, the pride of Australia. Just one job among hundreds to be forged for the 5 continents. Yet in all the clash and thunder of heavy industry, there emerges the sudden stab of an ominous word: recession. Steel and shipbuilding have been hard hit, and so, in trouble with 2 of her basic trades, the northeast has been going through a lean time. When the cradles of the great shipyards are empty, a lot else goes empty with them. A great change, too, has come over the coal fields, the buried black wealth on which the fame of Newcastle and the whole area is founded. Coal is not only the largest industry of the northeast, but is, employment-wise, its greatest problem. For the old pits are getting worked out, and the miners have to move on to new seams at the coast, or even under the sea, leaving ghost-like colliery villages behind them. Some quit the coalface altogether. Others go to the new pits, where conditions are almost always much better than the mining of the bad old days. Winning coal today is becoming more and more mechanized, and the grimy colliers taking the coals from Newcastle are as busy as ever. For although the labour force is shrinking, the output still holds up. And all the time, the search for new coal goes on, even out at sea off Sunderland here. This is but a part of the facelift that never ceases throughout the northeast, as the new flats for the modern workers rise out of the slum clearance in the centre of Newcastle. A dramatic rebuilding programme gives a new look to the whole centre of Jarrow, once one of the most tragic names in modern Britain. And a new heart is being carved out in busy Sunderland. This is typical of the northeast of today, built up anew out of the problems of the past. This is a place where the winds of change have blown away the smog and smoke of yesterday. Up and down this coast, as in Sunderland here, the bulldozer writes finish to an old chapter in industrial Britain, and the builder follows up and starts writing a new one. In 1962, nearly 20,000 new houses were built in the area. Yes, rehousing, of people and of factories, looking after the old, attracting the new, bringing in the work. That sums up the feeling behind the northeast facelift. To back it up, whole new townships like Peterlee here have been built, vastly different from the colliery towns of old. But the northeast isn't just factories set along a lovely coast. It's people. People in the rush hour traffic jam over the Tyne Bridge getting into Newcastle, or people manning the production lines of the hundreds of factories in the huge industrial estates that have grown up in the area. The drive is always on to find new industries and not to rely on steel and coal and shipbuilding. Some years ago, one of the country's leading electrical firms started a branch factory at Hartlepool, making small parts with a mere handful of workers. Now, 3,000 people, mostly women, make telephones and automatic exchanges there, and 500,000 of the new post office phones have flowed along this assembly line. But all the while, the Northeast is hacking away at another hidden seam of wealth: research. In buildings like this, young scientists design their way into the future. Here in Newcastle, where they turned the first turbine, the graduates of today slowly put together the prototype of the turbine of tomorrow. In this research block, built by one of the heavy engineering groups, the science men have all the modern tools of their trade. Here, the backroom boys can work away on projects that one day could make science fiction come true after all. Down the coast here at Stockton, young designers blueprint a power station for Asia, and the beautiful and accurate scale models will be used thousands of miles away on the building site. Here in Sunderland Technical College, the students designed a computer that has gone into commercial use. And here in South Shields, men are trained to the oldest of the Northeast crafts, the call of the sea. For the Northeast is still one of the world's great centres of shipping and shipbuilding. A real flag, the red duster of the merchant fleet. Generation after generation of its men go down to the sea in ships or stay ashore to build them. In 5 years, despite the recession, the Three Rivers have built 351 new ships with a total tonnage of nearly 3 million. Here at Sunderland, in a river where ships were first launched 600 years ago, is shipbuilding for export. An 80,000-ton oil tanker, almost the size of the Queen Mary, being built for Norway. And across in Newcastle, they are proud of the fact that had Cunard built a third queen, the Tyne would have had the order. The men of the shipyards and all the other industries of the Northeast are no strangers to the winds of trade. And once again today, they're ready to take advantage of them wherever they may blow.